In this tutorial, you will learn how to use the Map Display Choices widget to display the map layers, change the transparency and understand scale dependencies. Refresh the map, close all widgets and begin with a clean page. Hover your mouse over the fourth widget on the title bar. This is your Map Display Choices widget. Click once to open it. Explore this widget. Scroll down to view the list of map layers. You have map layers showing community buildings, broadband types, download speed, maximum download speed, populated areas, number of providers, census designated places, zip code boundaries, census tracts, census block groups, census blocks, and so forth. Turn off the neighboring state's map layer by removing the check mark. Turn it back on again by checking the layer name. Click on the down arrow next to the layer name. You will see a context menu with additional choices. Select Transparency and slowly move the slider to the right to make this map layer fully transparent. Move the slider to the left to make this layer fully opaque. This masks out the areas outside Arizona. Click on the layer name to close the context menu. Scroll all the way to the top. Click on the down arrow next to Community Buildings. Select Collapse All Layers. This makes it easy to see all the layer names. Select Expand All Layers. This reveals the sub-layers and the legend. Notice, the Community Buildings layer is checked. The sub-layers within this group are also checked. However, the check mark, along with the layer names, are grayed out. This indicates you're outside the scale threshold for displaying this map layer. Select the Zoom to option. The map zooms in. You can see the locations of the schools, libraries, hospitals and fire departments. Click on the black dot on the zoom slider. You are viewing the map at a scale of 1:144,448. Ease out one notch. The community buildings disappear. Zoom in closer one notch. Your community buildings are visible again. Turn off all the sub-layers under community buildings, except healthcare. There are 2 healthcare facilities within the area you are viewing. Let's find out what are the types of broadband services available in this region. Check to turn on the mobile wireless map layer. Check to turn on the fixed wireless map layer. Turn on the cable broadband map layer. It is drawn in blue. It covers the city of Prescott. Turn on the T1 layer. There is no T1 service in this region. Turn on the DSL layer. It shows up in red. Turn on the fiber layer. There is no fiber broadband in this region. Zoom in to the 2 healthcare facilities. Hold down the Shift key while dragging a rectangle. Adjust the transparency of the broadband types map layer. You are viewing the Yavapai Regional Medical Center. Uncheck broadband types. Switch to the aerial base map. Zoom in closer to view the details of this regional medical center. Gradually fade into the street's base map, where you could read the street names, as well as view the aerial image. Turn on the All Census Blocks map layer. The census block boundaries are drawn in dark red. The census block numbers are shown in green. Zoom out one notch. Turn on the Census Block Groups map layer. The census block group boundaries are shown in orange. Zoom out one notch. Notice how the census block numbers are not visible at this scale. Zoom out another notch. Turn on the Census Tracts map layer. The census tracts are drawn in red. Zoom out one more notch. Notice how the census blocks are no longer visible at this scale. Census blocks are a part of a census block group. You can see the census block group numbers displayed in orange as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Census block groups are a part of a census tract. Zoom out another notch. The census block groups are no longer visible. The census tract boundaries are clearly visible, along with the 6-digit census tract numbers in red. Turn on the zip code boundaries map layer. The zip code boundaries, along with the 5-digit zip code values, are drawn in blue. Ease out, one notch at a time, on the zoom slider, till the zip code boundaries are no longer visible. Now zoom back in, one notch at a time, to see how the visibility of the map layers change, as you zoom in closer. Click on the down arrow next to the Broadband Provider's map layer. Select Transparency, and make this layer fully opaque. This helps to mask out the base maps completely. Turn on the Land Ownership map layer. Ease out on the zoom slider one notch at a time. All the yellow areas are federal land. The blue areas represent state trust lands. The tan areas belong to the Indian reservations. The green areas are parks and recreation. The unshaded areas represent private land ownership. Turn off the land ownership layer. Turn on the number of providers layer. This map layer shows the number of broadband providers excluding satellite broadband. Satellite broadband is available throughout the state. Open the Broadband Providers widget. Click on any unshaded area on the map. You will see 3 satellite broadband providers. Click on any area that is shaded, light green. These areas have one type of broadband service, in addition to the 3 satellite providers. Click on any area shaded, dark green. These areas have 2 to 3 types of broadband service, in addition to the 3 satellite providers. Turn on the Populated Areas map layer. The hatched areas represent all census blocks that have 1 or more dwelling units. These are the places where people live. You can see from this map how broadband service is concentrated within the large cities and freeway corridors. In the next tutorial, you will learn how to identify the community buildings and list their broadband information.